For the Confederacy. Welcome back to the battle over at Manassas Junction. And once again, this is the largest federal army we have yet faced in the campaign. We actually have some cavalry, Loring's brigade up there, determined to send the enemy packing, and they're acting as sort of line infantry at this point. In fact, we need to even take Nathan Evans' detachment over here, and we're going to start firing at 2nd Brigade with these skirmishers as well. I'm also going to take Jackson's cavalry, guys. I see enemy artillery right there on the edge of the combat. I want to get over there and take a look at them. We've also just got a wonderful skirmisher line here, David Jones skirmishers, but of course this infantry unit is all the way back here, 3rd Brigade, so I'm going to pull them forward and, of course, fill that gap. But so far, there is just so much fighting going on right here on the Warrenton Turnpike Road. Right there at the edge of the turnpike, in fact, when the forest meets the road. Sorry, let me kill Discord. Man, I sometimes really hate that application. It seems anytime I stream, I now notice it every single time or anytime I upload anything, but man, it is annoying when you hear that and realize you have not turned it off. So there we go. Loring's brigade is, of course, going to get the order to move. We've got David Jones' brigade already moving forward. One thing we absolutely have to do is start pushing all of this artillery forward. Now, even though, as you can see, we've got a bunch of men on the way here, you know, believe it or not, the enemy still has double our men. So we want to be careful here, but I'm almost certain that they're going to be fighting over here at the Warrenton Turnpike. So we're going to just head up this road with Walker's group and hope that they can cut the enemy off the pass, assuming they decide to go further and try and hit us on the flank. We already saw a few units. Yeah, there's one of them disappearing into the woods here, like 1st Brigade, so we want to be careful. And in fact, I'm going to bring Evans' skirmishers. We're just going to have them kind of watch the situation and keep an eye on 1st Brigade. In fact, I might even take Jubilee Early, my favorite commander of the Civil War, and I'm going to bring Jubilee Early over here in this part of the cornfield. And it looks like Loring's brigade, yeah, they are definitely losing a lot of men. Let's mount back up, and I'm hoping we can save Loring's brigade because he's done an exceptional job here against the enemy. In fact, look at that. 2nd Brigade is on the run, although I think the devastating fire here from 1st Division's artillery absolutely sent Loring's brigade on the run. So let's push forward. And unfortunately, the one thing I don't like that this game does is, like, when a unit falls back from combat after, like, really heavy combat like this, it counts as, like, a dishonorable retreat, when in all honesty, what he did there was just gave the lives of a lot of his men to push the Federals back. So I don't think he deserves to be remembered dishonorably at all. Let's take these skirmishers, push forward. Let's start opening fire on the artillery. Now, of course, usually the correct thing to do is charge this arty. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to kind of push, keep on firing. Let's keep these guns blazing, and let's try not to get into any sort of protracted battles with bayonets if we can help it. I'm also going to push the rest of Evans' men forward. And again, despite being one of the most active units in this fight, he's only lost about 7 men killed or wounded. Yeah, that's pretty devastating fire, I'm not going to lie. Let's go ahead and push through. Hopefully they don't have any additional units, although I'm almost certain they do back here waiting for us. Let's see how the cavalry is doing. All right, cavalry's doing okay. We still have some skirmishers back here that we could use. Let's push them up to the road. And it looks like the artillery might be moving. Either that or they're getting prepared to open fire on us. Either way, let's just make sure we get into position. In fact, I'm going to order the charge now. Let's go for it. Because they are setting up those cannons, and I think it's better that we break them now. And look at that. 2nd Division artillery is already starting to falter there. I don't think they like seeing a huge amount of cavalry on the way towards their location. That can't be a welcome sight. Well, there we go. Hopefully they're going to make contact fairly soon. But look at this, man. Thank goodness we went over here. 1st Brigade and 1st Brigade over here. More Union troops. And let's just make sure they're not approaching. No, they are approaching one of our victory points over here. There's only one, and that's the Lewis Ford area. Although I think I want to redraw Walker's units. Now that we know that the enemy's going to be approaching there, let's actually just kind of redraw them like this. Actually, I want to redraw them in the woods. Yeah, something like that, so we get the woods cover. But clearly, Walker's going to have to support us there, man. He's going to have to do a little bit of work here in those woods. Let's open fire with Jones skirmishers. There we go with the cavalry. I want to break them quickly here before the infantry arrives on scene. Look at those men. Man, our cavalry have been tremendous. One thing I'm definitely going to do after this battle is for each of our armies, we're going to get an additional cavalry brigade. Just such a useful unit. And because of the cavalry, we have prisoners. I think we have over 8,000 Union prisoners at this point. And it's, again, all because of that cavalry unit. Come on, boys. See those sabers rattling? Although the artillery still have a chance to get away here, because they are retreating. And in fact, I think we can bring Jackson in. Let's bring him closer to the front lines, guys. That's right, Jackson is going to charge this Union line over here. At least that's the plan. We know for sure that there's an additional Union line approaching, so I don't know how many men they have here and how many men, you know, could still target us. It looks like Early is no longer paying attention to that guy, and that's not good. Early, need you to follow orders here, son. Get that artillery. Should we try to charge the artillery with skirmishers? That's a serious question, because they don't have many men in that artillery unit. So maybe it's actually a worthwhile strategy. Now I'm concerned that they're getting behind our lines and going straight for the Lewis Ford area. But again, that's why we left 2 units back here, and 2 pretty good units. 8th Brigade under Holmes, and, of course, Bonham's men, 1st Brigade. These guys distinguished themselves in several battles before, so I feel pretty safe sending them out. All right, here we go. Jackson is arriving. He's very tired. That's the concern. Fatigue is an issue. And with a very tired unit, we've had many people warn us that really not worth attacking if the unit is very tired. So let's just push him forward, have him at the very least open fire on the enemy. We could also just order him to halt here, and I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to have this guy kind of hold on right now. Here we go. Enemies arriving. Let's see how our men are crossing the bridge. We need them to cross a little bit faster, man. But we can't, we don't really want to rush them, of course. That's not going to lead to anything good. Tell you what we'll do. Let's take Jackson, fall back here. Gonna take 3rd Brigade and push him up to the front. Yeah, I'm really tempted to charge. The only reason I'm not charging with the skirmishers here is because I know they've got an infantry unit behind here with 4th Brigade. So if we can move forward with our infantry here, maybe we'll decide that charging is, after all, the right move. Yeah, Jubilee Early, just like his actual personality in the American Civil War, seems to really be thinking for himself. He knows he's going to get some good shots here on the artillery, so he's trying to hit that first. And you know what? I don't want to argue with the man. Let's go ahead and open fire. As long as we can arrive at the woods fairly soon, we should be okay, and this situation should be under control. Let's get Scurry, who's quite scurry. I had to, guys. You know, I can't control myself and bring him over here. We're just going to have the cavalry kind of hang out for now. I'm hoping this will give him some time to recover energy-wise. But let's just keep the gunfire going. In fact, I want to push Jones up even further. Make sure that he's getting those shots. And this could be a good time for 7th Brigade under Evans to distinguish themselves. We are going to charge, guys. We're going to charge with the skirmishers as well, so all of Evans' brigade is going to hit this federal line. I just hope that Jones can at least hurt the enemy here a bit before we make contact. We'll let Early hold the line. Or should we have Early charge out here and attack? I'm not so sure that's a good idea. Although with that infantry unit right there, I'm tempted to. Yeah, let's go for it. Come on, man. Attack them from multiple sides. The Great Charge at Manassas Junction. You know where this location is actually really close to, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't this... Yeah, look at that! This is Bull Run! So this is the unofficial Battle of Bull Run. I know that Manassas Junction was quite close to that location, but I didn't realize it was that close. Pretty amazing. So we are basically recreating the Battle of Bull Run, although with much more favorable goals for ourselves. And as you can see there, the artillery is retreating. We're going to go ahead and charge into 4th Brigade with Jubilee Early's men, and he better not fail. I tell you what, I'm going to be really upset if he does. Let's grab Evans as well. We might as well go ahead and hit the Federals here. We're already on location. Our men are already aggressive and ready for a fight. I say we get in there and do some damage. All right, let's see how the artillery's doing. Can we spot them at all yet? Yeah, they might have already gotten to the tree line, so that's a little troublesome. The fact that the enemy already made it to the tree line. Our men are very tired, so again, not going to be doing any charging with the cavalry yet. What we might do with the cavalry, I'll kind of take a look here, is we might scout forward. Number one, look for enemy positions, but number two, maybe just open fire on any retreating enemies. Make sure that they don't return to the fight, period. Come on, get in there, boys. Seventh Brigade, bayonets. I'm also not seeing any additional men over here, which leads me to believe that maybe they have, you know, transferred their units to other locations. Like, I'm mostly concerned about this area, but it also might mean that they've just got all their army over here. Now, since this unit is pretty badly beat up, I don't think he's going to follow our orders, but I'm going to try to take Loring and take a look over here. No, it's not going to happen. We're holding that location anyway, just in case that does occur. Look at how quickly that artillery is getting up the road. That's what I like to see. Unfortunately, 6th Brigade did fall back. So again, these Federals, not as easy to defeat as we thought. We got to keep our distance. So Jubilee Early, my favorite commander, is going to be seen as a coward because of that. Not what I wanted to happen. Yeah, 4th Brigade is holding on, and now that I'm looking at them, we absolutely should have been more careful here because they've still got over 2,000 men. So they are ready for a fight. They're not going to necessarily win the fight. As you can see, we have overrun them. But, you know, of course, they had quite a lot of men. Probably wasn't wise to charge with Jubal's unit. Now, this might be an okay time to run down. I'm going to run down that artillery unit, try to take them prisoner. As soon as Scurry's battalion arrives, he will begin opening fire. And I believe Scurry is actually one of the native artillery units that we created. He's got 2 stars there, so he does have some combat experience, though I don't remember using this guy, I'll be honest with you. All right, let's assist our boys. It doesn't look like they need any help. In fact, it looks like we've taken these guys prisoners, but just to make sure, I am going to advance here. And yeah, I am seeing, look at that, 1st Brigade over here. So let's bring this infantry unit all the way over here. They'll take the road, so they should arrive pretty soon. Nice! Did you see that artillery barrage? That was perfect timing, letting us know exactly where the units are, and they have gotten in the woods. Most of them, though, are just arriving from the road location. Here we go. We've got cavalry on the way. Come on, cavalry. I want to take these men prisoner. Nearly 2,000 Federals. Have those sabers ready to go. Of course, he is exhausted. It's never good to send a cavalry unit in if they're exhausted, but we've already done the order, and the enemy is wavering, or retreating, really, so I'm hoping this makes a huge difference. Come on, 7th Brigade. Spare none. Lower your arms and surrender yourself to the south, or be slaughtered. You can actually see one of our generals is kind of watching the whole thing go down. Sibley! Henry Sibley here, making sure that those Federals get what's coming to them. Let's grab this skirmisher here, Jones. These guys already had plenty of experience in wood combat. We're going to push them forward, and it looks like, look at that. 1st Brigade over here already wavering, guys. They have 2,000 men in that unit. They have not taken a single loss, but perhaps due to all the damage going on here, we've actually managed to get them to second-guess the situation. And yep, look at that. Absolutely took some Federals prisoner. We're going to take Sibley and move him out over here. He is quite tired. And I'm going to take Evans and move through here where Early was, just looking for additional enemy units, of course. Nice work, boys. Look at that. We've already got the fire going. The fire is rising. I had to do a pain reference there. Keep it on, boys. All right, so large unit right there, 1st Brigade, and this is a great opportunity to just take a chunk out of it, man. These wonderful 6-pounder field guns. Yeah, not the largest guns that we have, not the best guns that we have, but at this distance, I feel like they're still going to be absolutely deadly. And there we go, my friends. The enemy brigade under Colonel Richardson was thoroughly whipped. 1,250 prisoners. Beauregard sending us that message, and of course, glorious news for us. We get some special commendations to Sibley for leading that charge. Probably time to get even more aggressive. It's worked out damn well for us, guys. So I'm going to push forward with George Cock. It is what it is. Push forward with Longstreet and push forward with Ewell. Just pretty much like rip right through the woods here if we have to. Hopefully at that time, or by the time we get to that location, our cavalry will be ready to go. Although I'll be honest, I don't think I want to send the cavalry. It's not Jackson, is it? No, it is Jackson. Henry Jackson. I don't think I necessarily want to send him into another fight yet. As you can see, his men are disrupted. He's exhausted. In fact, I'm not even going to have the guy move from here. Just moving from here could get the guy, or force the guy to retreat. So let's fall back. Of course, we do want to address the possible enemy entrance over here, so we'll send early skirmishers. I wonder if the fact that his skirmishers didn't retreat makes any difference with that sort of dishonorable designation that he's sure to get. I wonder if it makes a difference. Keep on firing. Keep on firing. There's a few better places to get some cover, but a wheat field or a cornfield like this makes all the difference, guys. There we go. Yep, we're starting to see a lot more enemies. And in fact, this is one situation where we want to start engaging immediately because they have a slight advantage since they're also in the woods. And look at that. Jones' detachment breaking away. Yeah, they do not want any part of this fight. The Federals absolutely made short work of them. It's one of the benefits, of course, of being in these wooded areas, is you got pretty good positioning, number one, and pretty good defense from incoming fire. So let's see if we can't go and throw some fire down on them. There we go. See if we can break 1st Brigade. It's only a matter of time. They've already lost 128 men purely to our artillery. That just goes to show you the level of arty we've got right here. And we have to take this advantage of this situation. 1st Brigade over here, 2,000 men. For some reason, they have terrible morale. I'm not sure if it's like a friendly unit of theirs got destroyed in battle. That is a possibility. But we're going to take advantage of that and start firing a volley, especially as they approach the road here. And hopefully, we can just get these guys to fall back, period. Not have to worry about them at all anymore. We're going to take Ewell, and he's going to take the place of the unit that just left to engage the enemy there. Although I don't think I'm going to do any charges going forward from here. At least, obviously, in future battles, maybe. But I don't think I'm going to do any more charges in this fight. Let's just let things kind of roll on and see how they go. He's still disrupted, man. That cavalry charge really took a lot out of him. Let's see if we can't get Jackson in here. Try and just get some flanking shots. And look at that. 5th Brigade arriving to open fire. Come on now. Send them packing, boys. You can do it. I think we should also probably move the artillery a bit closer. We might as well at this point. Let's go. Of course, it's tough to move artillery, you know, on grass. It's pretty easy to move arty on a road. In fact, I think they go faster than infantry do. But moving through the woods can actually be quite a challenge. So it's going to take, I would say, at least 2 minutes for them to arrive and even start firing at the enemy. There's Ewell, by the way. He just arrived. Let's have him open fire on 1st Brigade. How great would it be if we could achieve a victory right here? I don't think it's possible, or at least it would be very difficult for us to get a major victory in this battle. I'm pretty sure the enemy is going to fall back soon. I think we've got them beat. Just managing to cross the river and take positions in the woods was extremely important in this battle, I believe. Look at that line, and look at that. Additional men arriving. That's got to be a detachment. Let's see. No, that's a proper brigade. Only a smaller brigade. 1,600 men. And let's get this arty. We're going to put them right on the road. I feel safe enough putting them here. What I don't like, though, is the Union 1st Brigade hanging out over here. So again, I'm just going to keep these guys. In fact, that's a perfect location, the corner of this cornfield. And see, they've even got a general over here. 5,000, so probably their smallest group over here of about 5,000 men. But we've got to keep our eyes there. Of course, if they get behind us and take an important location, well, that could spell doom for us, you know? That could be quite devastating. Come on, faster, Rosser. I told you that getting the artillery over here was going to be a bit of a challenge. Starting to take their first casualties, and already 279 casualties, man. They're already taking massive losses. You can actually see them falling back in the woods. I get the feeling that if one of these guys retreats, that's going to be the end of the battle. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Control over AI objective. Exactly what I'm talking about. Don't tell me they broke through our 2 units. Okay, so it's not this objective. It's going to be another objective. We'll keep our eye. It's probably going to be somewhere back here. But as long as they don't take the Bull Run objective, we should be okay. As you can see, that didn't really put the battle in their favor at all. Still very much in our favor. And I think with this, yeah, with this retreat, they're going to have to fall back. In fact, we'll start firing already on 1st Brigade. That artillery is going to be like 80 feet away from them. And this time we're using 12-pound howitzers, so they're sure to make an impact. Yes, pun intended, of course. They are sure to make an impact here. Right, so that unit is breaking. In fact, our artillery may not even get into position to fire, but we're going to try to get at least 1 volley out on that unit. And let's face it, they didn't want any part of this fight to begin with, so I'm not even going to follow through. But over here, we've got 1st Brigade falling back as well. Just enemies falling back all over the map, man. If we can keep this going, the battle is going to be ours, even before morning. Now, if morning arrives, they'll be able to get all these units into position, and it could prove to be a little bit of a challenge. But I think Lewis Ford is as good as ours. What are you doing over here? Bring Fletcher in here. And we are going to continue chasing just as we were before. We promised we were going to remain aggressive. Even if they're retreating, we're going to fire because we don't want them returning to the battlefield. And see, even after resting for, what, 10-15 minutes in-game, it looks like the cavalry is still extremely tired, man. This has really taken it out of them. And we have another brigade arriving. Let's turn our attention to him. And I'll have my artillery fire over here. Look at that. So quite a few more units arriving. Like I told you, they've got a lot of men in this army. But we might manage to pull off a victory here and do tremendous damage. Tremendous damage to these guys. The Federals are not going to recover easily from this, although the Federals do tend to recover quickly in this game no matter what. Alright, my friends. Well, we've got artillery about to get into position. If we wanted to end this really quickly, we could just go ahead and order a charge here on that unit. Pretty sure we'd break them. It's just a detachment, and that's Burnside's detachment. If anybody wants to take a guess, can you guys guess how Burnside got his name? Put it in the comments down below. Gotta love that guy. One of my favorite Union generals, as a matter of fact. Get him. Get up there, long streets. And there we go, the end of the day. So it did come to the end of the day, incredibly. And I think in this situation, we might just go ahead. Got some engineering points, which I believe we can use to like put down trenches, things like that. I think we're just going to go ahead and immediately continue the battle. It's that simple. See, they've kept their original locations over here as well. They do have additional troops back here that they could bring up to fight, but we're still in a great spot. Let's just make sure they don't have anybody coming on the east side. No, they don't. The remainder of their force is coming up this wooded path. Anyway, guys, I hope you're enjoying the fight. This one did make it to the next morning, but I feel fairly confident that we won this one, that we have done fairly well. We've certainly had more than a few units retreat and fall back, so we will have a damaged army. But as far as I can tell, this is leading to a victory. Of course, things can always change in this game, They could come in with an additional force. They could be attacking from a flank we haven't even seen, but I think we're doing okay here. Let us know in the comments below, and thank you so much for the continued support on this series. You guys have all been amazing with this. Keep it up, man.